If Bindi, Sindoor, kajal, they're all kept out of the ambit of GST, why can sanitary napkins not be exempted? In fact, this is the kind of question that the Delhi High Court now has posed to the central government. The High Court bench said sanitary napkins were also as much a necessity and therefore cannot be any explanation for taxing them and putting other products from the exemption category. The court also expressing unhappiness over the absence of any female representative, any women member in the 31-member team of the GST Council. Let's get in further inputs. We have with us our correspondent Anisha with those details on the kind of questions here now, rightfully so there, that have been posed by the Delhi High Court to the centre.
Well, the Delhi High Court in yesterday's hearing did pose a couple of very pertinent questions to the GST Council with regard to the 12% GST on sanitary napkins, which are a necessity for women in India. Now, the court, as you also just pointed out, observed that when you can have no GST on something as frivolous as kajal and bindis, which are basically things that women use for beautification, then why do you have to have GST on something that is necessary for basic medical hygiene? So this is something that the High Court has asked, especially since the government has taken a stand that the GST rate was put at 12% to protect domestic manufacturers, which is a slightly strange argument that the government has taken, that they cannot reduce GST further because the input tax credit system that exists will then give more favorable market conditions to the companies manufacturing sanitary napkins, to the foreign companies, and the domestic manufacturers will be in financial trouble.
That's the explanation and clear sign.
The central government is saying.
With the government taking into account the kind of loss that the domestic manufacturers would face, but entirely wanting to look away from this issue of sanitary napkins being a necessity in one's life as far as women are concerned, not taking that into consideration. And this is a question, Anisha, which has been part of Mirror Now's campaign as well, time and now raising the same issue. And it's interesting to note that you have the Delhi High Court now having posed those same questions to the central government.
Well, yes, this is a very serious issue that has to be taken care of, because this is, in fact, these observations were made in a PIL that has been filed, raising the question as to why is it that the GST Council is not looking into the fact that sanitary napkins are something that are medically and necessary for women in India, and why is it that the 12% GST rate has pushed up the prices of something that is a very necessary thing for women in India. Now, the problem is that the GST Council is adamant in its
activist Ms. Brinda Adige with us on the phone line. Thanks for being with us, Brinda.